104.1 KRBE. Let's get started. It's the Roula and Ryan Show.
Wake up, fool!
Hey, wake up!
It's about to get all stupid up in here!
Right here. Featuring Eric.
Eric, he is a bad, bad man.
Special K.
The big red K.
Are you threatening me?
I'm waiting for you.
And Sam.
I am a wuss! I am a wuss!
You've waited long enough. How the heck do you pronounce this woman's name?
Roula. And
Ding dong.
Ryan. 104.1 KRBE.
Good morning, Houston, Texas. It's Tuesday, June the 4th of 2024, and it's 6:02 a.m. with the gang. Roula, Ryan, Eric, Special K, and Sam. And here is what we have to look forward to today. The last of the kids that are in school are like,
Yeah, this is the last day.
okay, you know
Today's the
thinking,
last day?
I think tomorrow is the last day.
HISD.
Fifth, right? I thought
and
it
I
was-
think that-
It's the 5th.
That's tomorrow, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's what I forgot. We didn't talk about this. I don't think the last 2 weeks of school getting let out. But like, do they still pick school songs for like seniors? They still pick like a theme song, like their exit out song. Like, oh, we have a song because "End of the Road" by Boyz II Men has come up way too many times in the grocery store for me not to be thinking about this. And I listened to the lyrics yesterday. Like the real lyrics of Boyz II Men, "End of the Road" is not at all about changing because you're moving on to something great. It's about a guy who is basically telling a girl, "I know you want to leave me, and I don't care you cheat on me, but please can you just stay with me? I know we came to the end of the road, but I just have to keep you." And I was like, wait, this isn't
It's a relationship song.
That
Why
was
are
your
people-
senior song?
That wasn't mine, but a lot of
back
people
then,
in Mod
like
had
Vitamin
that
C.
song.
Really?
Like, "End of the Road" by Boyz II Men.
That's
We've
kinda
come to
fire.
the end of the road. And I'm like, this is a
Because
song
people
about a
pay
guy
attention to the
who's gonna let a
chorus.
cheating girl stay with him.
And they're not looking at the lyrics, the body of the song.
What was the other guy that sounded like Richard Dreyfuss? He would put sunscreen on or something.
Oh, that guy.
Oh, God, not Boz Lerman. It was Boz Lerman.
Yeah.
Boz Lerman gets the credit for the song.
Is that the
Sam, if you look
director?
this up, it's the director Boz Lerman. But if you look it up, you make sure you wear sunscreen or put in there sunscreen Boz Lerman. And it was a huge song.
Like
it was like a
mid-2000s?
spoken word song.
Oh, God, it was terrible.
2004 or something?
People
It was
loved
those
it.
things
People
were
loved
annoying.
it.
You know,
People
have you
loved
have
it.
your graduation and somebody comes and does the guest lecture, he'll come out and be the
Commencement
honorary.
speech or type
It's like,
thing or
wear
something.
A
sunscreen.
commencement speech. That's
It says, "Call
exactly
your
what it is.
mother
It's
often."
commencement speech with a beat put
Oh,
to
yeah.
it.
You never heard of this one?
I've never heard
Sam, have
this.
you ever heard of the Boz Lerman graduation song?
No.
What was it, 2002? What was that
Oh,
thing?
it's over 20 years old.
It had to have been because
I feel like it's
Vitamin
older
C
than that,
graduation was 2000.
I want to say 90s.
You should wear sunscreen or put on sunscreen.
mean, the
What's it
words-
called?
Everybody's free to
wear
wear
sunscreen.
sunscreen.
Those
Okay.
words are so
Yeah.
spot on. I mean, I just got back, it was
He's right.
It was
I know. Put that sunscreen on, y'all.
It was spot on. I went to my fiance had her high school reunion. So, it was kind of fun being the plus one watching the people reconnect after all those years and they haven't
Is it?
seen each
Usually
other.
you're like, oh, can
I
you
don't
just
give a
go to your
rat's ass
hotel
about
and let
my-
them all talk about
I
their
do
good
not
old
give
days?
a darn.
I had a lot of fun.
You must be one of the few people because I don't give a crap about it.
Oh, it was funny because
I think about those people when I was in high school. I don't give a crap 20 years later.
Exactly,
I
Eric.
think what they did was so
Screw 'em
neat,
all.
though, just getting together. She rented an Airbnb, which was an old church, and they had turned it into almost like a what do you call it? Like a meeting hall or where people get together for. I don't know whether it be
Well,
a
they
dance
just made
or
it a
something.
venue.
They made it a
just
venue.
Venue.
Just like 1/5 was the place where you got engaged, Eric. It was
Oh, yeah.
Mark's. It used to be a church.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but I didn't mind. It was so funny, though, Eric, because you're right. You could see all the spouses, the dudes, the husbands would be sitting in the corner just looking their heads buried down on the phones, not paying attention.
I'm sorry, but if you bring a date, not for you, I'm just saying for most people, if you bring somebody, that's just rude.
Well,
Yeah, because you're right.
Because I don't give a crap. I don't
If you
wanna-
make them go.
I don't want to hear your stupid stories, what you did 25 years ago or 10 years ago.
I wouldn't want to go with Booster to
and you want to be in your world. You want to be like, you want to be
You
a,
want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And not
yeah,
have to.
yeah, and but I
me.
also I enjoyed my high school time. I made a lot of great friends, and it would be cool to connect with them
But
again.
if you brought
that-
Booster, then you feel like you got to tell him
Yeah,
everything about,
like,
this is
okay.
Spanky over here. This is George. This
I
is,
think the
Well,
reason I
there's
liked
a
it.
show and tell night. Don't you feel like there's a show and tell night? There's like a
Yeah, there are two
cocktail
different
night
things.
where that's where you can
gosh.
be your spouse, and it's like, oh, here's who I married. We have this many kids. Blah 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 blah. And then the next night is just the high school kids.
Well,
There's more than one night?
Oh, no,
Well, not for us.
there is a mod. Like when you get to, like the first day they did a tour of the high school. That was kind of fun because it helps you fill in the blanks. This is a part of your mate's life that you never got to be a part of or never saw. So I thought it was fun just seeing like the look of excitement in her eyes. It was just,
I just feel bad.
I
'cause
enjoyed it.
I take my family back to my hometown. I did that over there. I did that over there. I'm like, They don't care.
They do care.
That's all
Your
I
kids
think
would
they do care.
care.
You
Your
get so
kids
deep
would
into
care.
it. You get so deep. It's like
It's one
it's
time.
like when we came here to KRB. You two were like, "Oh, over there we did this. I had a ding dong from that vending machine over here." It's like, ugh.
It's like going back to your high school.
Yeah, but it's great.
classroom.
It's like the dream talk. It's like when it happens to you,
Right.
it means
seems-
so much more
Yeah, I
personal.
agree.
But
I
don't you want to
agree.
know like all the things like her past? You know, just things that were kind of fun. That
Oh, here's
you
where I
weren't
used to make
part
out
of?
with my boyfriend over here.
I'm not saying
Here's where I
that.
parked and got some. No, I don't want to know that.
Yeah, this is where they dropped the bombs in Iran.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna go back to-
great memories of here.
Here's where we got hit. We got beat if we
Yeah,
showed
here's
where we hid.
elbow.
For those that don't know, Eric's wife
Gosh.
was born in Iran, and she left when she was 14.
that's a different
his
situation.
reference.
Yeah.
She go back a lot, but
Yeah.
she has ever since we've been together. She's like, nope,
Not going back.
I'm not taking you there.
Somebody texted us that they just their daughter just graduated from Bridgeland High School, and they did not have a senior song that they were aware of. So I guess it's not a thing
That's
anymore.
Yeah, I don't
Crazy.
remember having a
I
song.
had one, and in the same vein of the Boys to Men thing, ours was "See You Again," like the Paul Walker tribute song. I'm like,
yeah,
this
yeah,
is about
Charlie
a guy
Puth.
who died. This is
Yeah,
sad.
yeah.
Like,
Charlie
why did
Puth.
we pick
It's
this?
so sad. You're leaving each other.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
because you
and
really
I'll never
care.
see them again.
You see?
Exactly. It's the same concept.
Unless
It's
they're at
when
the
will I
Walmart
see
or
you
something.
again? It's not. I'm never going to see you again.
I'm not going to see
In
them
Ahmad's-
again. I
in Ahmad's
don't
mind
wanna
it
see
is.
them again.
Which was a song. When will I see you again? When will my heart beat again?
What's that one from?
When
that is,
will I see you?
Wasn't that in one of the Fast and Furious movies?
no, that's one of Maud's talking
Yeah,
about. The
that's
one that
one.
Kevin's
Okay.
singing is older than that one.
Wait, keep going. Keep going.
Is it right?
I don't know.
Do-do-do-do-do.
It's like a couple of those two white guy
Game.
duet type things.
Yes.
Oh.
This texter says, speaking of bored spouses, my school will not allow you to bring a spouse unless they were alumni also.
That's
when it comes
yeah.
to the
Shout out to
reunion
them.
stuff.
He'll be in
Yeah,
I like
Maryland.
those.
See, I knew Bob would like those songs.
Isn't Babyface
June
on
7th,
tour?
he'll be in Maryland. Yeah,
Oh.
he's going
No,
out.
but he's on a big retro tour, I think. And he doesn't need to.
I thought he's coming
Babyface
here,
is worth.
actually.
I think he used to be with Anita Baker, but then those stars kind of collided.
they
and
did.
they
Babyface
broke
is
up.
him and L.A. Reid are huge producers. Babyface is worth hundreds of millions
Did
of
he
dollars.
take a bow with Madonna? It was so good.
He's got a radio show too, I think.
Does he
He
really?
used to have one.
Really?
It's like show or something like.
What's his name? Kenneth Babyface Edmonds.
Edmonds.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, he
That's
did a
good.
whole Madonna album.
Correct.
Which one?
It was not bedtime stories. It was the whichever one has Take a Bow because they're on it together. I thought he helped her produce that
I
one.
need to deep dive in that.
That's right.
Eric probably gave me the CD. I realized you gave me like almost every Madonna album.
Oh,
Do you have anything to- do you
I
have
have so
anything
many
to
I couldn't
play?
need anymore.
you have a CD player? You
yeah,
do?
Of course,
Okay.
of course.
He collects VHS
now
tapes.
Now
and-
it's all
yeah.
about like digital cameras and all the VHS.
He's like
tapes,
living in the
you know,
world we
backwards.
grew up in.
I
He's
know.
like, what was it like to have DVD players and
so cool.
We're trying to
VHS?
escape it, and you're trying to bring it back.
I
Yeah.
love it.
It was bedtime stories that
Okay.
he did.
Got
Bedtime
you.
stories.
Mhm.
All right. Okay, coming up next in Celebrity Scoop, there is a reboot of a show that I'm not really sure should get rebooted. There was a whole Netflix series about how controversial this show was at the time that it was on American television, and a lot of people are still suffering from being on this show. So does it sound like a good idea to bring it back? We'll talk about that in Scoop. Here's your weather for today.
It's going to be windy. It's going to be hot. High of 96 today. Right now, 81 degrees at 6:13 on the Roula and Ryan Show.
Keep your radio right here
Time for your daily scoop. Roula and Ryan Celebrity Scoop.
on KRBE.
Just a note real quick regarding the internet. If you or a child in your life started following Mr. Beast, a.k.a. Jimmy Donaldson, over the weekend, that pushed him to being the king of all YouTube anywhere. He's 26 years old. He gained 2 million more subscribers on Saturday alone.
Whoa.
And that has now made him the top most subscribed to person in the world on YouTube. He has 269 million subscribers. He makes $500 million. He's worth $500 million. And he's about to make a show with Amazon, we talked about a long time ago, where he can if you score a $5 million prize.
That's the thing. He
Jimmy
channels
Donaldson.
all his money right back into his product.
I feel like he doesn't need anybody.
Right?
Like, don't even go to Amazon. That's the beauty
Yeah.
of your show. I think people like it that you're not like with all the sponsors as much. I mean, I know he does have sponsors, but
And
He's
does some
basically
cool
doing
stuff.
he does a lot of radio stuff that we used to do back 20 years ago.
But he's only 26. I didn't know he was so young.
And he didn't he cure 100 people of blindness or something like that?
He's done some really cool stuff. I know he's done a lot of wells.
Yeah, a lot of wells.
He's
and
dug
stuff.
and stuff in Africa.
How would he have cured 100 people of blindness?
Or like,
Come on.
maybe put money towards?
Like, yes, towards like eye surgery.
Whatever
or something like that. Yeah.
It's not like he
Whatever the
went
research
over their
was.
heads.
Come up
Yeah,
here.
he
You've
put his
been
hand on
healed.
them.
No, just whatever the research was. Yeah.
He did like some type of like eye surgery thing for like 100 people. that really
Devil,
needed it.
leave these eyes.
Remember, watch those videos where they touch the people
And then they fall out. Oh, man.
Oh, which, by the way, you know how Roula, every time you fly, you see something, a movie or something on the.
Oh, yeah, that's when I have time to watch movies.
So
when
the
I fly.
Wi-Fi was out. So I watched on my plane. The Wi-Fi was out. I watched the documentary series on Netflix. It's called Dancing with the Devil.
Oh, I didn't. I
And
watched
it
the
is
preview for TikTok.
so
It's like a
good.
TikTok
It's
cult
a
or
TikTok
something.
dancer that gets into this cult.
Oh.
It's like number 2 on Netflix right now. Sam, you will love it. It is so good. Watch it. This is right up your alley.
There was a story yesterday. Like,
So it does,
whatever,
like, murder
where's that
stuff.
girl from the TikTok?
The 7M dancers.
Yeah,
I
it's the
believe
7M
they're called.
dancers.
7M.
It's
Yeah.
not murder, and this thing is like, still going on. You got to watch it.
Then she won't like it. See,
Yeah.
it's good. She needs murder in it.
So Amazon is rebooting American Gladiators.
Yes.
Okay.
Eric, was that your jam
So-
back in the day?
I loved it because back then they didn't wear helmets. They just went at each other. Just
I need to explain what it is for
Yeah,
those that
please
don't remember what it
explain.
is. So imagine Saturday nights. There's no streaming. You're just watching whatever is going to be on TV. This is
Okay.
why you have an entire generation of kids who watch Golden Girls and Empty Nest about retirees.
on Saturday nights. Was
There's
the-
nothing else to watch, right?
It was
You're just
good,
going to
though.
watch whatever's on. American Gladiators would come on, and it was a bunch of really fit people who were the gladiators.
Zap, laser.
Laser was the
going up
name?
against people who seem to be fit in these challenges, like the joust, where they're on this platform that kind of moves. It's not solid, and they are jousting to see who's going to get knocked off.
Those or what are those pugil sticks or something like that? Or
I don't know what they're called, but it's like think of like a stick that has
You're
these
right.
two
Okay.
giant styrofoams at the end, and you're kind of beating each other up to see who's going to lose their balance and fall off the platform. And then there was one, I don't remember what it was called, but you were trying to dodge. It's almost like dodgeball, but it was with an air machine. Like
It was
the
a gun.
gladiators
They're
behind this
shooting
air
balls
gun,
at you.
Yeah.
and they're going to shoot these dodgeballs at you, and you're trying to hide
Tennis balls.
behind these. I think they were bigger than
Sam,
that.
I know,
Bigger than tennis
I know
balls.
how this will
Okay.
grab you. If you go on Netflix, they have the unauthorized documentary about American
there's two of them.
Gladiators.
There's like two things. ESPN did one, and then the
Netflix
The
one.
one, on
Netflix was what I saw.
the one on Netflix is not very complimentary. These people had a
Look at the
bad
pictures.
life afterwards.
This came out in 1988, the original.
So here's here's what you
gosh.
learn on the Netflix series. It really was just we're going to throw some spaghetti on the wall and we're going to see what sticks.
Yeah.
We're going to put these really fit people together in an environment that's not at all made for them to be safe in. It's like concrete with a little layer of some Teflon or something as the ground.
They got really hurt.
And they're going to wrestle and they're going to do all these things. And they were athletes in their day. They're just really pumped up. And we're going to have them go up against like the average Joe. And so people would like tear their ACLs. They would rip their ankles up because this was not an athletic environment for them to be
Right.
doing this stuff. Then it got really popular. Then they kind of stepped up the set. They
It was
made
one
it
of
kind
those-
of better.
It was like in Chicago. It was like on Channel 50. So here it'd be like CW or something.
I think it was on
wasn't
Channel
the-
20 here.
It wasn't ABC or CBS.
No, it was
I
like
think
a,
really, you're
a
right. It was
Channel
on-
20
it was on
show.
20
channel where
Vision.
that show with the Out of This World.
Yeah,
with the girl.
It was like Channel 20 here growing up.
It was so fun.
So
And-
what we learned in the Netflix documentary, Kevin, I don't know if you saw that one, is it was fun for us to watch it as
Yes.
kids, but what we didn't realize as adults,
Uh-oh.
this was terrible.
It was not fun for them.
A, they were not getting paid jack squat.
no.
B, they were getting hurt left and right. Then they decided, the producers were like, well, we're going to take this thing on a tour, and we're going to have real people across America fight these gladiators. And the gladiators are like, wait a second. It's one thing we're doing this one time with 1 or 2 rounds of contestants.
Yeah.
We're doing this 6 times a day. By the time you get to the 6th person that's going to fight you, you've had 6 fights. They've had 1. They're going to win.
Yeah.
And it makes like, yeah, I took down the gladiators. The gladiators suck. They're a bunch of wusses. And they're like, I can't feel my knees. They're torn up like tissue. And so anyway, it was this not so great documentary about, wow, this really wasn't a good thing. So Amazon Prime is rebooting American Gladiators. It's going to have a mix of some new challenges, some old challenges. They are currently on a search for contestants, but there is no word on when it's actually going to air. Fans are going to recognize the Eliminator and the Hang Tough events from the old games, and it did run from originally 89 to 96.
Those are the 2 games that insurance would let them do still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that one where you
That
had
is
to-
wild.
They put
That's
like
crazy.
two like cylinder things in the middle, and you had to try and grab a ball from this little container and get it in that hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other, but they was guarded by like 2 or 3 of the gladiators.
I just
And
remember
they would just tackle. Remember, they'd pick you up and just
throw you.
Oh, they
Yeah.
would
But at
kill
the
you.
end, there was a whole obstacle course
Yeah,
or
there was
something like that.
You had to run
That
through
was
that
the
paper.
Eliminator.
You had to run through the eliminator, and then you don't know if the gladiator's behind it.
It basically opened the door for American Ninja Warrior.
I was just about to ask because that's what I grew up on.
Yes, American Ninja Warrior, when they're trying to do the thing with the time, it's the same thing. You're being timed, but instead of in American Ninja Warrior, it's you against the event.
Right.
In the elimination of American Gladiator, it's you against the event and the gladiators. You have to get past the gladiators to become the winner.
But see, the impact that show had, I mean, so many of the shows we watch today, holy moly, they have to go up against the event. There's so many different things. Like they're going through flames.
Or what's the one when John
get a
Cena would do
putt.
the play-by-play?
Wipeout.
Wipeout.
I love
That was cool.
Wipeout.
Wait, did John Cena used to do that?
The reboot.
The
No,
reboot.
Oh, I was going to
reboot,
say the
yeah.
original.
Before
I
was
met
the other
some,
guy that.
I don't remember their names, but there was a huge Rule and Ryan show fan that I met years ago, and he wanted to be on that show so bad. He
a Japanese
campaigned
show.
and campaigned and campaigned
Is
to be on that
it?
show.
I think it was
started
Japanese.
out,
It was
I think, as
originally
that.
Japanese.
Wasn't it Comedy Central or something, or one of those
I
channels in the
believe
90s?
so, or like True TV or something.
Some of the 90s.
That sounds more
and
like
then
it,
we,
like True TV.
we stole it and made it.
Into
And
Wipeout.
ABC put it on there, and then it was on syndication or
And
something.
it kind of had the American Gladiator vibe, because once I met that listener who campaigned to get on it, it's like, okay, well, you're going to fly yourself out here and we're going to let you try this, but we're not going to put you up anywhere and we're going to pay you anything and you're going to get hurt, and oh well, it's your problem. You want to be on this show. It was really like, oh.
And did they do it?
Yeah, he got to do it, but he got so hurt. There's one that you bounce
I'm
onto
sure
it.
you do. I
The
always watch
ball?
it.
Yeah,
The,
those
like,
giant
big
big red balls you bounce from
Yeah.
one to the other to
Your
the other, and then you
body's
just
not
slam
meant
into
to
the
do
mud
that.
pit.
You could be like 23 years old and like an athlete.
Yes.
If you're over 30, you're going to die.
I did.
I think even under
Tears your
20.
body apart.
He's healed.
It really will.
Like it's college.
Just looking at it, I think I got hurt.
I know, I can't. It hurts
Or
me.
when you're running
I mean,
along the wall and they have like the random pop outs and they
That
just
would
get
just, like,
like
punch you.
knocked. You're like,
yes,
what
or
in
like
the
you would
world?
see people say, I'm like, they're trying
That
to
would
make
happen
that
to
next
me.
thing, and you'd see them get like whiplash
Yes.
because like, their neck would get hit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God, I can't watch this show.
See, I told you, it was hilarious.
Hilarious. Come on. It was
But people
hilarious.
will watch that because they want to watch the pain. They
Well,
want to see
It's
it.
so funny.
So what's the J.J. Watts show was kind of like Gladiators.
Oh yeah, that's right. What was
Tag?
it called? Tag on Fox.
Was it called Tag or was it something like that? It was like basically you just play tag.
And it was like a
Wasn't
quick blip. It wasn't like a series. They didn't do it for seasons and seasons
Yeah, I
and
mean,
seasons. It was
There's
like a
already
special.
professional tag on ESPN.
Yeah, I know that one. Those guys are good.
They're intense.
Remember
I
the
like
movie
watching
Tag?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. With,
Oh my God.
it had John Hamm and Ed Helms and the guy that got injured from the Marvel movies.
It's called Ultimate Tag.
Yeah.
That was the JJ Watt show?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Watt's
it happened
Ultimate
in
Tag.
2020. It only happened. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It only had one season.
It was
There's
on
only
Fox. It was on Fox,
Yeah.
yeah.
I felt like it was one of those like special things. Like, okay, well,
I mean, it's Tag. After a while, it's like,
maybe also
You're in
2020. I don't know. You'd think it would have gotten more ratings if we were all stuck at home, but
did they ever do dodgeball?
Yeah.
professional dodgeball, like a
Did they
game
ever
show.
make that a game show, like dodgeball?
They should have done that like 20 years ago when the movie came out.
I'm sure it's on ESPN though.
The
Like
Ocho.
there's definitely somebody.
Ocho, like, that's when they have like soccer, but it's like 3 goals.
Yeah, I
that weird angle.
never got on that. The
The
only thing that I
cornhole
like
guys-
is the cornhole guys are awesome.
I don't like how they wear,
There's
like-
soccer tennis.
I don't like cornhole. They got the ear buds in, and they're not even paying attention. They're just listening. And the
Yeah,
sunglasses.
because they're staying focused.
like
It's kind of like
they got
the
noise
World
canceling
Series of Poker
headphones?
where they have their sunglasses on and their earbuds in. It's like, listen,
They don't do that in
it's called
professional
poker face for a
sports.
reason.
Yeah.
You got to take off your sunglasses and you got to take those earbuds out. We got to see how you play cards.
Imagine if LeBron James did that. Put put beats on or
They're
put,
different sports, though.
I mean, at this
They're
point,
different sports.
you might as well
okay?
I call card sports.
play poker in the dark so you can't see anybody's expressions.
I did see a night baseball. Did you see that one this
What do you
weekend?
mean?
It's glow in the dark. Everything's glow in the dark. Like the balls glow in the dark. The uniforms.
Where'd you see it?
It was all over Twitter. This
Oh, that
weekend.
sounds cool.
It looked awesome.
So you're standing at the plate and you just got to wait for a glowing ball to come across
Yeah,
the pitch.
there's
That
enough
sounds
light
dangerous.
because the lines are, the glow in the dark.
Uh-huh.
The bases glow in
That's
the dark.
fun.
So the baseline
uniforms.
is light up.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
super
And
neat.
just see the ball.
That'd be scary.
It is very fun now that as kids, my kids have glow in the dark football, glow in the dark basketball, glow in the dark volleyball. It's fun to play at night because you can see where the ball goes.
Yeah.
Okay, coming up next, it is not Nurses Week. However, we do want to recognize our nurses all the time because without you, I mean, every one of us who's ever been in a hospital or somewhere where we needed care, the nurse comes in first, right? And you hope to God they know how to tap an IV.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Not bust your veins. There's a nurse that spoke out, a pediatric operating room nurse who posted a list of things that she would never let her kids do. And yesterday we were doing this whole thing about the reset for summertime. Now that kids are going to be home, probably by themselves, or kids are, parents will be more relaxed because, with the rules, because it's summertime. What are 5 things that this nurse said do not
trampoline
let your
world.
children do this in the summertime? And no, a trampoline is not on the list, but we probably should put
Maybe
that
a
on the
nurse,
list.
maybe nurses listening can add to it. Or maybe you're thinking of something right now, like Kevin just said, the trampoline. It's not on the list. You're right. That's a good one.
So, nurses, if you want to add, 713-390-KRBE. That phone number is 713-390-5723 if you have any advice.
And I've got one that's not on this list, but we're going to add that too. It comes with motorized scooters and bikes. We're going to add that one to the list.
Dangerous.
With no helmets? Come on, man. Let's talk to you next on The Roula and Ryan Show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Wake up. It's KRBE and more of the Roula and Ryan Show.
We are asking nurses to chime in as we go through this list of a nurse that put this together for things now that it's summertime and you're being more relaxed, things you do not want she would never let her own kids do. We're going to go through her list and you're going to add to the list at 713-390-KRBE. Now, I know Stacey has to get to work because it's shift change time. So I'm going to start with Stacey
Okay.
before we get into the list of the nurse. As a nurse, Stacey, welcome to the Roula and Ryan Show. We want to know what you would put on this list. Good morning.
Hi, yes.
Hey, Stacey, so what's your piece of advice?
Yes, my piece of advice is do not go ding-dong ditching at your neighbor's house. Because they will
Ding-dong ditch?
find out. Yes, everyone has cameras.
Yeah, everyone has rings,
Everybody has Ring
doorbells.
cameras.
Yeah, they'll look at you.
That's the thing that you can't do anymore. The good old days.
Yeah.
I'd be scared down here in Texas with people with guns.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that's what you were going with. Yeah.
I thought maybe you get injured running.
Yes, I'm from a little town, so from people back home, we do not have cameras, so.
So ding-dong
this
ditching
is
is... The whole point of that is you're actually, from my experience, you do it to friends that you know. You go to their house and you ring the doorbell.
You do it to anybody.
Although, you know what's funny? One
no
of
fun.
our
Go to
friends, like our parent friends,
Yeah.
they were out in the neighborhood one night and they ding-dong ditched us and scared the crap out of me because we were all asleep. And I was like, oh my God, who's at the door? And then it didn't click. It was a ding-dong ditch. I really thought somebody's at our door at like
my
midnight.
dog goes
Freaked us
nuts.
out.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
When I hear a commercial and it plays Ring, the sound effect, my
Yeah.
dog will
Yep.
My dogs
Starts
are so
barking
alert.
at the TV. And you hear a
Absolutely.
doorbell on
run to
television.
the door and he thinks it's ready to go. It's go time.
Or did you guys do the charm, like the noise if you get motion?
Yes.
Yeah.
The chime.
Oh my gosh, Mark has his phone on loud all the time, and I'm like, turn it off, because then Misty runs to the door thinking somebody's here, and it's like,
Wake up your baby.
It's like a bird.
Yes.
It's like a bird was in the area, the 30-foot
or a
zone.
car like passed
Yeah.
by, and I was like, great, thanks for that.
But you're so right. In Houston, Texas, if
nuts.
somebody's ringing the doorbell, if it's 9:30 at night, I'm sure you're going to hear a lot of that coming to the door.
Yes, Nurse Stacey says don't ding dong ditch. Everyone has cameras. They're going to know who you are and put you on the next door app. Whose kid is this? Make them stop ringing the doorbell. Okay, so a pediatric operating room nurse posted a list of things that she would never let her kids do because they're just too dangerous. The number one thing on her list, I'm going to start right out with this one because it's summertime and people get really relaxed. Like, oh, okay, sure, that's fine. Her number one thing is do not let your children sleep over at someone's house unless you know every single person in that house.
Yeah.
Because she has seen
good
too
idea.
many cases of abuse and she would not risk it.
Oh, wow.
Think about that. You're like, oh, but I know the mom and I know the daughter. Well, have you ever met the dad and the brother?
You should vet the
And
people.
I know you hate to think that way, but this
Oh,
is
wow.
coming from a nurse that's her number one thing on the list. She has seen too many cases of abuse because of a sleepover.
After our show on Friday and yesterday with Geneva,
Oh my gosh, yes, Ryan, you weren't here on Friday and Monday, but we had a very desperate grandma call the listener line on Thursday into Friday. Did you hear at all about this?
No,
And
I was out of town.
Her granddaughter went missing. And she reached out to our show because she knows we reach a lot of people. And then we got Crime Stoppers involved. They found her. We had an update yesterday. She's back home safe, but there's a lot of sinister stuff that
they won't say if that man was arrested. We don't know if it's.
he was being investigated still, and the girl's not talking about what happened to her, and just it was so terrifying. It was so terrifying. And again, it's how you meet people. She met a friend of a friend of a friend.
If you want it, it's on podcast. You guys go listen to it. Have your kids listen to it. Especially yesterday, you'll hear both stories. Then we have Rania from Crime Stoppers on. And
She's talking about the reset of summertime and
yeah.
like that's her words. We're more relaxed in the summertime, so you might
kids
not
have
be
more
as
time on their hands.
stringent.
You're at work all day.
They're home with the world in their hands, with the internet on their phone. Okay, the other thing that the pediatric operating room nurse put on her list of things she would never let her kids do: go swimming unless she herself is there. She does not trust anybody else to keep an eye on her younger kids because the stakes are just too high.
I feel that way too. I really do. Like when I have kids at the pool, like when my daughter was younger and she had friends come over. First of all, it's a huge liability, by the way. If the kids fall or hurt themselves on your backyard, they fall on the concrete or whatever it is you have around the pool. But I never felt comfortable just letting like some of the older kids watch the younger kids. I always had to watch.
And the nurse specifically says the younger kids, which is true.
Scared
because
me too much.
Even in amongst a sea of adults at a barbecue, kids drown because everyone thinks somebody else is watching. Nobody's watching.
What age limit are you? Just so I can visualize this, like what?
In my head, I would not go if your oldest one was 8.
Yes.
And the kids are swimming. That's a no way unless I'm there. If
Got
the
it.
oldest kid is 8, and everybody else is under 8, no way. I have to be there with my eyeballs.
Got it.
My kids now are 9, 11, and 13, and 100% I'll be in the kitchen, and I know they're swimming, and it's fine. And I just keep my, you just kind of happenstance, whatever.
Like, right. 13, that you feel like.
And plus, there's not that many of them.
They know how to swim
because drowning is silent, and there's not that many of them. So 3 of them are going to see one of them is struggling.
Right.
Versus if you had like 7 kids at your house or 12 kids at your house.
There's always some idiot doing
cannonballs.
They want to do a
not
flip, they're not
attention.
looking, and they land on somebody.
I always say, clear the way. Clear the way. You cannot jump in the pool unless you've cleared the way. Okay, the other thing the pediatric operating room nurse says she will not let her kids do is sit on a riding lawnmower. Specifically, no riding on dad's lap. It makes for a cute photo, but she's seen too many serious life-altering injuries when
kids
kids
fall
fall
off. My
off.
son on the farm, I'd do my lawnmower just for a photo, though. I took him off because it's
dangerous.
The lawnmowers isn't that bad. It's
golf carts,
big tractors and stuff that we had no cab.
Okay,
that's how my I never met my cousin, but he fell off my
uncle's lap.
My cousin's relative. He fell off his lap and he ran over him.
Oh my God!
His own son. The snowplow. He's still plowing and there's no cab. Thought it'd be good to hold him because there's nothing underneath. It's like the clutch and everything, and he fell between the tires.
Took his life?
Oh gosh! Yeah.
My little brother was riding on Pup-Up's lap, and it was a riding mower, and the exhaust shot out the side of the mower.
Burn him?
And Colin reached over to get down out of the tractor and utilized that as the handle.
No.
3rd-degree burns all over his hand.
Oh my God! Did he recover eventually?
Yeah, he did, but it was very traumatizing.
that is so
And,
horrible.
my parents were so upset.
Yeah, and I'm going to add golf carts to this because I've seen summertime Galveston golf carts.
I rolled my brother off of a golf cart too.
I mean, there's a little girl that went to school with my daughter.
We want to drive them.
Yeah, and she fell.
Hard turns.
You're not thinking put a helmet on in a golf cart, but she fell out of the golf cart, hit her head on the concrete, and she was seriously brain damaged for a long time. And the fact that she made a recovery was a miraculous hospital case.
That happened at the rodeo back in the day.
Yeah, with that woman. That's why they wouldn't put you on golf carts anymore because that lady fell out of the golf cart. So just be very careful around golf carts. The last 2 things: using any kind of fireworks. The nurse has seen too many injuries to fingers or worse, losing hands, or riding in a car without a seatbelt, even for a few minutes. The crashes this nurse has seen where one kid was buckled up and the other one wasn't, with or without a seatbelt or car seat, the injuries are always much more serious.
I feel like kids are better now because they grew up with it.
Train them.
Yeah. And parents, buckle up your kids. The amount of parents I see with their kids just hanging out in the back, I'm like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? I know.
If you're wearing a seatbelt, your kid needs to wear a seatbelt.
Yep. And motorized scooters now and motorized bikes are the new thing.
Gosh.
And didn't we learn when Simon Cowell broke his back on the motorized bike when those were brand new?
As an ATV.
No, it was a motorized bike.
Oh,
he
was
on
it?
an
Was like
ATV.
mine.
He was on a motorized bike.
Yeah.
Put your helmet on and watch your speed.
Yep.
There's way too many people. Hoverboards, all these things.
I was thinking about that because I don't wear a
kids
helmet
are
with
on.
mine, and I should because I'm going like 20 miles an hour.
Yes, if
on
you
the beach, I don't feel like
You're going to fall in the sand.
I'm just feel like I'm not going that fast,
Mm-hmm.
or it's the sand. But on the road, though,
not on the seawall. Oh,
I don't go
right
there.
off.
Oh, yeah.
Hell, I can't even do that little petty bike thing on the
15
seawall now.
foot,
Thinking I'm
I'm
going to fall
scared of that.
backwards.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that petty bike for 6.
Hey, yo. Time for KRBE's Roula and Ryan show to tell you what's going down on
I've never done that on the slingshot.
Oh,
I did it one time.
I saw the price when you.
They're basically a
It's like
motorcycle.
$200 though.
An hour?
Looked like for an hour or something. I'm like, and it's so hot.
The
I'm like,
slingshots are all over
just
Galveston.
so I can sweat.
No thanks.
Yeah, no thanks. So let me know if you guys talked about this while I was out of town, but did you see that Houston topped the list of the most dirty city? Most dirt and grime. Number 1 in the nation, Houston, Texas.
And what makes us so dirty?
Well, Houston ranks third worst in greenhouse gas emissions from large industrial facilities, but the study also noted that Houston ranked third for being the most polluted city. They did all these 3 different studies. The city's got the biggest cockroach problem.
Yeah, I think we did this one.
Mm-hmm.
Did we? It was Thursday or?
It was like out last week or something.
Yeah, remember we talked about, because I remember the cockroach thing I talked
Yeah, it
about.
was gross.
Mm-hmm. So I just find it so
Because
hard
we
to
were
believe.
number 1 overall. I mean, we're number 1 overall because everything was like third.
You add it
fourth.
all up,
Smog.
yeah. But how do we beat Newark, New Jersey? Come on.
The cockroaches are so bad that there are exterminators coming in from out of town because I'm renting to them, and they're coming in here to get more accounts because it's just so bad.
Ew.
And there's 4 of them going out to like different parts of Houston to sell all these different cockroach plans.
Ew, I get this in the word.
Glue traps, which one they use? They use the bait.
Subject.
And you know what? They're taking good care of that house that they're being rented.
I used to have bait. It looked like the caulk gun.
Yes.
And I put this bait in there, and I'd like shoot one, look like a shot, a big giant shot. And I remember I'd take it in the cracks and the crevices and just line this food up, and then the roaches would just eat it.
God, please, I
That
can't.
is so foul.
It brings them out.
Thank you.
Cleanse the palate.
No,
Cleanse the
it'll
palate.
draw them and then eat it and it'll die.
Today's
But no, you can wipe them out in like 2 days. It's
They can
pretty
take it back to the hive.
Yeah.
Is there a hive? Is that
And
what
then
they call
It's a
it?
roach hive.
It's a
Stop, I
hive.
So it's
can't.
bug genocide.
Oh, God, I
Rilla, how's your
can't.
coffee this morning?
Oh my God, it's so delicious.
Did
know,
you
I
have
used
new creamer?
I have oat milk, Planet Oat creamer. I try. It's
kind
my
of creamer?
favorite.
Yeah.
It's coffee cake flavor, Sam.
Whoa.
And I am very much loving it. My husband jokes with me, do you want some coffee with that creamer?
Oh, yeah, because you like it real.
Because it's more, I just want it to be creamy.
like milk
So it's all
looking
cream
right
with a
now.
shot of coffee.
I just like to see when you pour the cream into the black coffee, it makes the swirls of the
Yeah.
clouds of white. I'm obsessed
By the way,
with that.
here's a text. Somebody said they about in January. Do you see it?
About that
In January, I moved to a new job, making my 1 hour commute now a 5-minute commute this summer. This summer, I'm in a different office, which is back to 1 hour, and I just realized how much I missed you guys.
Oh, I'm glad you're back. And if you miss any part, you can listen to the podcast.
And I can wake up listening to the Roula and Ryan show.
Oh, great. And yes, we do live forever
I
on
know,
podcasts.
I feel bad when you got a 5-minute commute. If
Like
it's
we don't get enough of us.
a song or something, you miss us.
Yeah, you're not getting the full picture.
But coming up next, we have somebody standing by to tell us all about how they got revenge on someone that messed with them. They got their payback. We'll hear about it next on the Roula and Ryan Show.